All right. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I am having a hard time getting started this morning, apparently. This is Lisa Marie at Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and thank you so much for joining our webinar. I am a sales director here, always happy to help. So if you need anything, my information will be on the slides. We have David Downey here from F&G as well to go over their Safe Income Advantage product. And first, we're going to go over some things about IAMS. We have our new Producer Builders program, so you can use the production that you already are going to be placing in order to reinvest in your business. We have levels from 100,000 all the way up to $1 million. That way we can help you invest in your business without using your own funds or taking money out of your income. We also have the referred producer program. I see a couple of you actually on the webinar today that have taken advantage of this, where when you refer a producer to us, you get a $50 bonus, and then you also get kind of an override on your agent without having to take away from their income. So it's a little bonus that we give you as a thank you for sending another agent our way. We also have a marketing reimbursement program. After that new producer bonus is through, then from then on, as long as you're with IAMS, you get $100 of marketing reimbursement for every 100,000 in premium. We have amazing back office support. So between business building, tools, resources, all the way from the prospecting, all the way through to client services, we help you to run your business. It's almost like having a staff on board. I know you guys are kind of out there on your own. We are here to help you through everything. Our website is an amazing tool. I keep it up at all times during my workday. It has term quoters, sales tools. There's annuity rates. Everything is up to date on there at all times. You can even get through to our YouTube channel through there that has our webinars. We have eApp solutions, Firelight, iPipeline, and Sunfire. I work the most with Firelight. It's a great resource for putting in your applications in a more timely manner. Your business gets issued more quickly. You're more likely to have in good order applications as well. Just a little bit more on Firelight. All right, our creative team is amazing. They make beautiful logos for people, wonderful interactive websites, digital solutions. It's just fantastic. I think it's something that you would really appreciate if you see what they can do. We have our wealth management. IAMS Wealth Management. It's great for financial advisors. They can actually help you to get your Series 65 to become a fiduciary. If that's something that you're interested in, without being locked up with a broker dealer that makes you put all their business through them, it's a great option. We have our Life and Annuity Academy. We have one coming up here actually in mid-May. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make a note of that as well, because we'd be happy to have you there. We're hosting this one in with Athene. So they'll be co-hosting, co-sponsoring that with us. It's a great way to learn advanced sales techniques and new products, new training. All right, follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn. We would love to touch base with you. All right, I'm going to turn this over.
I think,
There we go.
Lisa, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I got it. I'll take
Awesome.
it off
Very
your
good.
hands from
Thank
here.
you so much. I was like, wait a second, I got to change hosts.
Yep, nope, we got it. Can you see my screen okay?
I sure can.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Lisa, for having me today. I know it's a short week, Friday before a family-oriented holiday, Easter, right around the corner. Got a lot of calls yesterday asking if we were open today. I didn't know there was any place that closed on Friday before Easter. So we're here, we're open all day. So everybody give us a call if you need us. But today we want to talk about the Safe Income Advantage. This product continues to be a hot seller for us. We are number one in the guaranteed income space, not just on early income, like the invite said, but really in the what we call retirement sweet spot or social security sweet spot. If you're working with your IAMS marketer, asking them for guaranteed income quotes, and your clients anywhere from age 60 all the way up to age 72, especially for early income, we dominate, but for all durations of income within those ages, we dominate the space. But not just that, the product's unique. And what I mean by unique is it has some different flavors for how the client can take the income, some really nice marketing pieces that you can utilize as well for turning on some guaranteed income. But before we get there, you guys heard the IAMS commercial. I got to do a little F&G commercial. When it comes to the team here at F&G, that's myself, David Downing, your national account manager. And we have Miss Tia Stanley. She's the national account VP. And then we have our internal support. That's Miss Jennifer Howe. But if you're ever at an event, if you are fortunate enough to be invited to Kiowa here in, what is that, the 14th, 15th, 16th, you'll see myself there. But if there's ever an IAMS event that F&G has a presence at, you either see myself or Miss Tia Stanley. And we're really excited to support you guys. We're actually out of Des Moines, Iowa, so we're a hop, skip, and a jump from the Omaha office. We try to get up there as frequently as possible. But the company that we represent is F&G. F&G has been around a long time. Just like IAMS, we've been in the marketplace for a really long time. Actually, 60 years F&G's been around. We released our first fixed index annuity in 1998. In 1998, I was 5 years old. I just turned 30 this year. So 25 years and counting, we've been in the fixed index annuity space, really a pioneer in the space. But the reason I showed the last 5 years is the F&G that you all are going to get to know and work with this year and in the future really formed in the last 5 years. And it started around that partnership with Blackstone. Now, if you don't know who Blackstone is, they are the world's largest alternate asset manager. And our partnership with them is all around long-term sustainability. You're never going to know F&G as a fire sale company. We want to make sure that we're consistent with our yields and our rates on our products to make sure that you can be confident selling us, knowing we're not going to dump things to the minimum year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they recognize that. It's been a really, really great partnership. 2018 upgraded to A- by AM Best. Happy to report that in 2023, AM Best upgraded us from A- to A. We now have A's across the board. S&P, Moody's, etc., all recognize us as A or A- rated carrier. So really awesome stuff there. And we're continuing to knock the doors and make sure we're being recognized for how we're utilizing our capital and where we're placing our capital in terms of reinsurance, things like that, to make sure we're being recognized. And AM Best actually just upgraded us from neutral to positive outlook as well. So lots of good stuff happening here. But if you remember back, grade school, we're A's across the board, which is something that can ultimately lead to consumer confidence for you when you're talking about our product. One other thing I want to mention here on this screen is in 2022, we were spun off. We're now a publicly traded company. Stock's up over 130% since inception. So obviously investors are seeing value. I'm not here to tell you to buy our stock today, but I am here to plug the fact that we are publicly traded means if you sit down with that analytical client, meaning the one that wants to look at our financials, deep dive in all of our statements, now that we're publicly traded, they're out there. So it's been really great in terms of granting your clients access to make sure they're confident and comfortable with utilizing F&G should that be necessary. We all know those clients. We've all sat with those clients, so it's really nice to be able to give them the material they're looking for now that we are publicly traded. In addition to that, this had some consumer confidence, right? Last year, number one in overall customer satisfaction. The year before, in 2022, we were number two for customer satisfaction. This is just, again, a testament to where we are placing our money. We want to make sure that your client is happy when they have an F&G annuity, and that's what this is all about. Product offering, interaction statements, price, communication. And for those of you that have written an application with F&G, this starts with you ultimately, because this is from penning the app to, we're having the product, turning on income, taking an RMD. This encompasses all of that. So we're really excited to be number one from JD Power. This makes my job easy, right? If you have a client that's looking for the number one annuity carrier according to JD Power, we're it. And then we'll talk a little bit about our number one product, which is the Safe Income Advantage. It's all about taking guaranteed income. And we partnered with Michael Finca. He was actually looking for a carrier that was looking to put a unique spin on guaranteed income by hedging against inflation. And it just so happened at that exact time, we were working on something. So I've got some really good tidbits from Michael, some product flair, and then we'll get you out of here. Maybe on your way to your weekend. Now, we created this product. It was all around the top two worries of retirees. Every year, we send out a risk tolerance tracker survey, and every year, the top thing that retirees are worried about is on the left there, and that's running out of money. Everybody wants to live long, happy, healthy lives, but everybody's worried about living too long. And especially now, people don't have pensions, right? I'm not going to have a pension. My colleagues aren't going to have pensions, and chances are a lot of people on this call, you're not going to have pensions either. So when you retire now, it creates a different challenge, and that is you have this lump sum of money, and you have to make it work for you so you can live, right? But you don't want to live too long and run out of your money. Well, of course, guaranteed income riders can help solve for that risk. But the really unique thing that's been becoming more and more prevalent in our survey is people are concerned about maintaining their lifestyle. They want to be able to stay in their house they're in. They want to be able to continue to travel and live life. But when you look at what's happened in terms of just daily expenses, and then you add in fixed costs, and I'm sure if we were all in the room together, has anybody's property taxes gone down recently? Mine haven't. Or has your home insurance gone down? Mine's doubled over the last 3 years. So when it comes to retiring, it can be really challenging to predict some of these future costs. And that's why having something with an increasing income option is going to be largely beneficial to your client. And that's really the premise around this product, but also being flexible. And we'll step into that here in just a little bit. But this is really interesting. So when we created this product 2 years ago, prior to inflation going crazy, Dr. Michael Finca brought us some concepts, and that is sequence of returns and sequence of inflation can be huge when it comes to retirement. And what that means is for those that retire and have a large negative yield early in retirement, have a higher chance of running out of money. In addition to that, if you have high inflation early, you also run the risk of running out of money. Now, we created this product 2 years ago. These were just hypothetical situations. But it's really interesting because as we look at the landscape that retirees are in right now, we have high inflation, volatile market, and negative yields early on in retirement, which means that their chance of running out of money increases exponentially comparatively to having that inflation over a long period of time and or negative yields. And really this is from our white paper, which I'll plug in here in a little bit, but Dr. Michael Finca was nice enough to put some of this stuff on slides. But it's really crazy the fact that this is actually happening. This is what your retirees are facing right now, and that is high inflation early on. So if you retired in the last 2 to 3 years, you're facing high inflation in addition to negative yields. So the chance of you running out of money is greater right now than it has been, which ultimately leads to what? This is really interesting. This is from our most recent retirement survey, and that is half of the people that have retired or are considering retiring are considering either going back to work or delaying their retirement. So you have 50% of people that have hung up their boots or hats or whatever they were wearing in their work are considering going back to work. Can you imagine that? You've worked all your life and you've retired and inflation, costs, things are rising and you're having to come out of retirement or considering it because you want to live a certain lifestyle and the amount of money that you have coming in isn't enough. Pretty interesting stuff. And then of course I kind of spilled the beans on this a little bit early, but those who have most recently retired are among the most willing to return. So you think about what we were talking about, people know that inflation's happening. People know that negative yields are happening. And I think that's what's driving the amount of people that are looking to go back to work. 59% of Generational X surveyed say they're not currently using a financial professional. That's a huge opportunity for everybody on this call. If you consider the fact that people are retiring faster than ever, right? We have all those baby boomers. People are considering going back to work because they don't know how to manage their own finances, and people don't have a financial professional. So when you get kicked out of the door, you're 62 years old and you retire and you're given a lump sum of money. What do? Right? Do you draw on that? Well, you look at it coming down with negative yields as you're drawing down on it. Does that create some consumer confidence? I think not. So how can we protect our clients against that? And that's by utilizing the Safe Income Advantage, which has 3 different income options. We have the levelized amount, which is going to be the greatest amount you can put in your client's pocket up front. But you also have 2 really unique options that increase. The first is a increasing option that increases 3.5% each year. Now, historically, that should outpace inflation. However, the Fed cannot seem to figure out inflation. So we have an inflation-based option, which is every year that we have inflation, the client's income is going to increase up to 5%. So think of that like a 5% cap on increasing income. That's a really great opportunity for your client to hedge against the increasing environment that we're in right now. And the best part about this product is the flexibility. And that is, we may sell this to a client today talking about inflation. Well, the Fed may figure out inflation in the coming years, and the client may decide that they just are looking for a levelized option, the most money in their pocket, or a fixed increasing option. It's all flexible, okay? So each of these options, none of them have to be chosen until they turn on income. And I highlighted it earlier. If you're working with a client that's 59, all the way up to around 72, and they're looking for income, whether it's early income or long deferred income, F&G is going to be the number 1 A-rated carrier option for that guaranteed income, which again, just makes my job pretty easy. So when you're looking at those numbers, also think about some of these increasing options, right? Because we can certainly set them up for level income, most money in their pocket, but can we hedge against inflation with any other product in the marketplace? Chances are probably not. This is a really good option for your client to hedge against that inflation in this increasing environment that we live in. And one of my other favorite features of this product is the impairment multiplier. What happens when your client can't do 2 of 6 daily living activities? Well, F&G is going to double their payment until their account value equals 0. So we'll keep it simple. Let's say your client's receiving $10,000. They can't do 2 of 6 daily living activities. And again, this is not a confinement-based rider, but we will double their payment to $20,000 until their account value equals 0. And at that time, it'll revert back to the original $10,000. So not only are we leading with the best guaranteed income in the marketplace, but we also have one of the easiest to access impairment benefits in the United States. And oh, by the way, if you're phoning in from California, this is available in California. And I have to hone in one more time at the fact that this is 2 of 6 versus confinement-based means it's easier for your clients to access their money. This is a big deal. So we talk about the flexibility with using the income. Now we have some heightened flexibility with this benefit because it's not confinement-based. And I kind of spilled the beans a little bit. But if you have a spouse right? That's another cool thing that F&G allows if we're talking about flexibility. If you have qualified funds, we will allow you to do a joint annuity. We're the only carriers in the space that allows for that. And if one of those annuitants becomes impaired, we're going to give them 1.5 times for this benefit. So this slide really spells that out nicely. If you're receiving $25,000 on a single income, we're going to bump it up to $50,000. Let's say you have your spouse in there, $37,500. Well, what happens when the spouse passes away? Get that question a lot. They go back to their original payment of $25,000. Really good opportunity, especially if you have a breadwinner situation where the husband or wife has made the money and makes the money. Really good opportunity to add the spouse on a qualified or non-qualified account. We have that flexibility here at F&G. This is what I call my meat and potatoes slide. How does this thing work? Everybody's heard of the rule of 7.2% compounding roll-up rate. If you wait 10 years, you double your income. But where we win is really with those payout factors. We're paying out more money to the client. We can talk about bonuses. This product does not have one. We can talk about roll-up rates. But ultimately, F&G's got some of the highest payout factors in the industry. And that's how we're able to put more money into your clients' pockets. But I want to highlight a couple things here that are easily missed. And there's actually one that's not on here. And this is you can turn on income day one. You don't have to wait a year to turn on guaranteed income here. Another big win for you, there's no chargeback for using income in the first year. So another competitive advantage, if you have that client that wants to turn on income day one, they can do it. And the bigger benefit, or not bigger benefit, but also a benefit, is the fact that you're not going to receive a chargeback for that amount. Pretty good stuff there. What lends itself nicely to that story is this roll-up rate is credited daily. Historically, with guaranteed income products, you would have to wait the full calendar year to turn on income or it'd be detrimental to your client. However, in this scenario, they can turn on day one income or 6-month income, 7-month income, 50-day income. It doesn't matter because this roll-up rate is credited daily. That's a big win. And low fee, 1.15% annualized fee for all these benefits we're talking about, including the impairment multiplier, guaranteed income that they're guaranteed to never outlive. Lots of good stuff going on there. But maybe none bigger than the ability or flexibility to turn on that guaranteed income with one of 3 different options. And none of those have to be picked at the time of application, including if you want to add your spouse, that can be done when you turn on the income. Doesn't have to be done at time of application. So again, great benefits and great flexibility. They pair really nicely together. In addition to that, we have great marketing pieces. Like I mentioned earlier, we partnered with Dr. Michael Finca ultimately to create this product. Then he created this really nice white paper. And this white paper is consumer friendly, and it's got pieces like this. How many people on the call today are competing with bonds or people that are using the 4% retirement rule? Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Bonds paired with inflation. So we have 2 65-year-old retirees, both have $200,000. One buys the Safe Income Advantage, the other buys bonds, right? One uses the FIA story, the other uses your traditional retirement story. Now they're both withdrawing $807 per month to cover their costs. But inflation rises by 5% during the first 5 years of retirement. And again, I think it's really interesting that when we created this product, these were hypotheticals, right? But chances are, if you have a client that's in this age bracket, this is a reality situation, right? Inflation has not cooled. They cannot get it under control, under the target. But I'll get off my high horse with that. But by the time they hit 70, they are both taking $1,030 per month to keep pace with inflation. That's just to buy the same things they were buying 5 years ago. Okay. The Fed still can't figure it out. Inflation rises by 5 years. Just 10 short years after you retire, $1,314 to cover those same fixed costs. Okay. Now, this is where the rubber meets the road, where things become really interesting is by the time they've both hit age 75, the value of the bonds has fallen to 113,000. If she continues to try to match the income that she would have been receiving from the safe income advantage, her savings will be wiped out by the time she hits 83. And this is really interesting. At 83, there's a 70% chance she's outlived her money. That's a pretty big chance. And considering all the males in my family, historically, my great grandfather and my grandfather all lived to age 90 plus. If there's a 70% chance that by the time you're 83, you've outlived your money, I think that's a really compelling story. And all of this is packaged up nicely within Dr. Michael Finka's white paper. Now, I know that Lisa Marie will make a couple calls after this, but I'm going to make sure that each of you has this in your email, but feel free to grab that code. This is not a white paper like what you would get from Barclays or BlackRock, or something that's really heavy and tough to read. This has scenarios like the one that I just talked about and some of the slides I showed you today that are really packaged up nicely in an easily digestible format. And that's a really big win. When you think about white papers, generally don't think about that, but this is 12 pages, easy to read and client friendly. So if you have a client that's concerned about inflation, you can hand them this and pair this thing or tee yourself up really nicely for a safe income advantage sale. I love this white paper. I can't go on and on enough about it, but seriously, grab that code, read this thing. It's a really great opportunity for you to learn a little bit more about inflation and how you can help mitigate that inflationary risk that each client that's retiring today is running into. One more quick plug. This says 2023, but this is the same for 2024. If you're using F&G for guaranteed income, which, I mean, it's pretty easy when we're the number one story, but if you write $2 million in guaranteed income, we're going to pay you 30 bips. That's $6,000 right to you. That's another seminar, another grouping of mailers, but a good opportunity for you to make a little extra money, invest it back in your practice, and really pour some gasoline on the fire. So with that, Lisa Marie, hopefully you're still on here. I'll pass it back over to you and you can close things out. But just as a reminder, F&G, number one dog for the guaranteed income, 59 to age 70. I know Lisa's seen it on those public calculators. But Lisa, with that, I'll pass it back over to you.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. Yeah. Whenever I run any kind of comparison, F&G comes out consistently on top, especially on that early income, but really in almost every, up through 10 years even, I see it on the very top almost every time. So I have a poll here for you. Can you see that screen? Yeah, very good. So would you like more information on the product discussed today? Just click yes or no. I'm not going to be offended if you click no, and David won't be offended. I won't tell him. But I like to know what you guys want to see more of. I'm happy to send you more info. I'll reach out to you, answer any questions that you might have as well. I'd be, more than happy to go over this with you, run you a comparison if you'd like with other carriers, or run you a full illustration for the F&G product. It really does come out consistently on top, very consistently. So I'd be happy to send you the agent guide or brochure or whatever it is that you need on that. I'll give you a couple more seconds here to vote on that one. And we mentioned our Life and Annuity Academy. That is coming up really soon here. And if you are interested in that, we are running really close to the deadline on that. So if that is something that you would like information on attending, it will be in Des Moines at the It'll be in Des Moines, and it will be, like I said, a lot of commiserating with other top agents, sales techniques, product info for life insurance and annuities, both. So if that's something that you're interested in getting information on, or the application link or the landing page, then just go ahead and click that on there, whether that is something that you'd like some information on. The dates are May 15th through the 17th. So that'll be a really good one. We are I think we might be we're one of the only marketing organizations that still run a regular academy, uh, at least a couple times a year to really come together and learn from each other. And I think that that's really powerful. All right, with this, I will end our time together. If you have questions, let me know. My number here is 800-255-5055. Just ask for Lisa Marie when you call, and I'd be happy to help. If you already have an annuity sales director you're working with, you can call them as well. Everyone is very well versed on this product line and everything that F&G has to offer. I just am their biggest fan here and at IAMS, so I get to do these webinars. Thanks again, David, for joining us. We really appreciate you.
Thanks for having me. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thanks. Happy Easter, everybody. Bye.